microphone on here?
Hello, hello.
There should be a little button.
Yep. I always forget to talk into it, so.
It's just not
If
like
people
our vast
remind you, don't
audience
feel
can hear
bad.
us.
Is mine on?
Yeah.
I hear you.
All right, so it's called to order at 6:37. Present, Dan Hewitt. Dan isn't here, but he'll be here shortly. Arden staff, Wendy Johnson, Stephanie G., Barb Brustman, Jason Wheeler, and new member, Heather, Amanda, and Jack King. No guests? Okay, agenda items, approved meeting minutes from March 2nd, 2023. I know you haven't had a chance to read those, Heather, so, everybody else somebody wanna make a motion?
Motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You wanna give a financial status update, Jack?
Yeah, in front of you is a spreadsheet that keeps up with what's coming in. Put it up on the screen so you can see it a little bit better. Didn't print it exactly as I wanted it to. What you can see there is everything that has been donated, by whom, how much, and for what event. We had $24.94 for the Easter egg hunt. We spent $46.57. So double what we had for it. We have about $616 left, once everything's accounted for. Dan did give me the invoice for the fishery. That check will go out next week. So touch a truck, we're still got about $750, not much has been spent on that one yet. Same thing with Community Day, we've got about $1250 for that. About 14.6 for Fall Festival right now, and then 17.75 for Trail of Treats. Simply Christmas, we have about $100 put in there.
$100. Couple strands of lights.
So far, we've taken in $26,996. Earmarked and spent is $10,031. 36. Now, this is in anticipation of some things too. So, you know, as far as you'll see it, as far as the fishery is concerned, there's the $1,500 that's going to go out this week. Ball and Journey had a $1,500 deposit for Fall Festival. Dragonfly balloons, that's going to be $800 for the Fall Festival. I've also put in what we spent, $530. Mike the Balloon Guy, various charges, $133.45 so far for the fishing derby from Dan, $97.90 from Wendy, $131.53 from me. Again, if anybody has any receipts, let me know. Give them to me so I can get you reimbursed.
Question. Oh, I'm sorry. Wendy, didn't I sent you the contract for the next, right?
I don't think I have it. You might have, but I might have lost track of it.
Okay. I mean, I think we only wanted like 400.
Okay. Just get it to me and I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, let me check here.
Yeah, I mean, that's, obviously, we have money in the Fall Festival, so, and once I get it, I will put them in here, so, you know, as of right now, I didn't get it, so.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay. The Easter egg hunt. Obviously, it was a very stressful time for all of us, between the weather and just everything. It was just a really tough time. But there's some things that we know we can do different, and one of those was we could have had shorter time between each age groups. I think one of the reasons why we kind of extended a little bit this year too was we're using the eggs we were using, we thought it would take a little bit longer to get them spread out. Surprising how many of the volunteers actually showed up, even though the weather was what it was. I think we had a better percentage turnout of volunteers than we actually had the kids that were signed up.
They was great, though.
Yeah, they were awesome.
They were wonderful, but the funny thing is like, we had so many that signed up, we actually had like 15 no-shows.
Really?
Yeah, and there were still that many there, because we had, I think, the final count, because people kept asking me to, like, they're like, can my cousin come, can my friend come, and I felt bad saying no. So when, at the final count, we were up to almost 40 volunteers. I think we were at 38 or 37, so I think we had about 16 show, so.
So you think maybe like next year we should cut it off, maybe 15, and then allow for those people that say, can I bring my cousin?
I would have cut, yeah, I just felt bad saying no when someone's like, can I please bring someone else to volunteer? But like, I have to be ready to turn off the responses like right away, because within like an hour of her posting that on Canon Mac's site, we had that many volunteers. Because I tried to cut it off at 25, and in like a 5-minute period of time, I looked back and it was up to like 30 something, like 31 or 32, so. I think it's great. They obviously like volunteering for us, but
Well, I'm hoping they like it enough that as they get older, someday they want to volunteer for the board or, you know, keep volunteering. I'm hoping it brings a history of interest. Yeah.
I just need something.
yeah, they were great.
The balloon and airbrush continue to be a hit. Absolutely amazing. For the first time in his life, Blake actually got a tattoo.
Oh.
The bake sale, we took in $350.
That's an
So,
approximate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It's a
couldn't
little
remember
bit
the
more.
exact total.
Well, it was 319, and then we found the other jar, and there was another,
yeah. And, I mean, obviously, we would have done even better if more people were there, you know, if more people had showed up. So, and we had some great bakers,
yeah.
everything was fantastic.
Did you get that other name I sent you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I think probably, you know what, I forgot to look for the sheets in there when I went into the concession stand. I don't know if they're there or not.
Did you get that lady's prize? That message?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you.
But we did have lots of no-shows due to the weather.
What was our count? I'm sorry, what was the
I
count?
don't know, because
We
I
didn't.
forgot to pick up the sheets.
Oh,
in the
okay,
room.
no worries.
But I figured we could count the bags and how many bags we have left over to help us. But I'll check for the sheets. They got wet though, so I don't know how readable they're gonna be. I noticed too that like a lot of people from South Point, they didn't have power, so they didn't come because they just, I guess, thought everywhere was without power. Yeah, how long were you without it?
Break in an hour. That's what I do.
We were gone and got home around 3, and didn't get it back till the next morning.
Yeah, I went home to no power,
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 hours.
and Muse was
I
closed
think
on
we can do that.
Monday. Okay, build in flexibility for the weather. With everything we do plan, it is very hard for us to adjust at the last minute. So going forward, I think the only way we could allow for that is if we continue to book the balloon guy, that we say this is gonna be our date and this is gonna be our rain date. So we have everybody lined up for that second date. So what does everybody think about that?
I think that's a really good idea. And then I mean, I added this in here too, but just like also, if we could just make a decision about the weather like earlier than just the day before, because the problem was is we got the request to move it on like Friday afternoon, and it's kind of, we didn't make a decision before that, so that's on us. But then when like the official request for Friday, like to move came in on Friday, it was like kind of late to call all the students and late to get Mike the balloon guy. So like if we had maybe made the decision on like Tuesday, we probably could have changed it. That was just my thought, so I threw that on there, but
Well, what about like how much notice do they need for Mike the balloon guy? Is that I mean, maybe that's not something you've talked to him about, but you know, we definitely
No.
need to take play into that.
yeah, I mean, I think like if we gave them 2 dates in advance, I have no doubt that they would probably just hold, you know, the rain date.
Okay.
I don't know just like how, we didn't have a rain date picked out, so I just was like, if we call and cancel on them, then they just probably lose out on their money, like their individual entertainer probably would, I don't know.
That was, I think, my biggest concern about moving that thing that late is I didn't want to lose the money for them that we paid out, so.
And the other thing we have to consider is if we're having people baking goods for us, we want to give them enough notice that they aren't, have all these baked goods. Some things are freezable, but some aren't.
So I guess the rain date should be almost the immediate day after. I wouldn't push it a week or anything like that. Like if we want to do a rain date, we have our day on Saturday, I think, Sunday would probably be our only option.
Or else we're moving it to Easter weekend and,
Well, even then, like you said, the baked goods ain't no good by then.
yeah.
And like the timing too for the volunteers, because I told Wendy too, because I know I had a prior commitment Sunday afternoon, but I did text Wendy and I told her like if everybody else wanted to move it to Sunday afternoon, I was fine with that. But I wanted to make sure that somebody was like going to be around in case the students, volunteers, like didn't check their emails, because that happens. Kids don't always check their emails. They don't always check their voicemails. So like I didn't want people to show up on Saturday and their parents think they're here volunteering and then they're just like not because the event was canceled. I don't know, that just was stuck in my mind. So I just think a rain date, I could send that to the volunteers right when they sign up and then they'll just know.
And we can have that on all the documentation to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay. The concession stand, Billy Ann stayed so chipper through the whole thing.
And she didn't make anything in the morning.
She's just wonderful.
Crapshoot, I told her that. I
Yeah.
can't guarantee anything. She did make some, but not, and she was fine with it.
Does she ever want to do it again? Did anybody talk to her?
Yes, she does.
Wanted, I don't know if anybody else heard her say it, but she threw out the idea of her running the concession stand at the
Yeah.
fall festival.
Yeah, no. I don't know, as much as I hate the concession stand, we kind of need that
Ah,
money.
Barb, you're not in there anyway, so don't worry about it. Just calm down.
I don't know, but she had proposed she said she would talk to us about splitting money or something. I don't know. It's just
Well, I mean, I
kind of
definitely
so
think we
appealing
should-
at the time because I know we all don't like to work it.
We should definitely listen to.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's a bad idea at all.
I mean, like you said, at the end of the day, I think we at least hear what she has to say.
Because she brought it up to me, and I said, well, we grossed over $5,000 last year. She said, well, we can work something out.
How much do we put out in food cost, approximate?
$133 for Saturday?
No, for Fall Festival.
Oh,
I mean, between all of the, the pop and everything, and maybe we sell all the drinks. I mean,
I think it was.
okay, that's not,
That's it?
That's it. We made 5,000 on it.
Well,
So-
it'll be
We're looking like-
$1,400 this year.
Yeah, it's going to be higher, but the prices are going to be higher.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We saw, we're keeping it low because we want to attract people. We want to bring them in.
Yeah.
She's selling stuff at $10, $15 like other places, and it's working. So, we've got to decide, do we want to keep that low cost attractiveness, or do we want to bump it up on par with other festivals? It's easy. When I can get water for 13, 14 cents a bottle and sell it for $2, great, Pop, 45 cents, depending on the type, depending on the size, sell it for $2. I'm making some profit, Will I sell it for $3? But the other people are doing it.
Well, for 20 ounce, it would charge $3 or $4 all day long, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's something we can look at, but, that's a lot of hard work, That's a lot of hard work. And, if she wants to do it, we have to consider Penny, we have to consider others too, because we don't want them to feel slighted. I don't want to show favoritism, but this was an experiment. Billy Ann knew that, and she was happy to do it, right? And yeah, she does want to come back.
How much do we depend on that money that gets made? Can we live without it?
it's always a plus. It all depends on the sponsorships, I'd say, at the end of the day.
5,000 is,
Yeah,
good chunk of change.
it offsets a lot of things. We
Yeah.
could add another event, or something. We could, bring somebody else new. We could get another band or something like that. It all goes in to the pot, but, we haven't gotten any money from the township in 2 years. Okay? So what we're doing is we're staying afloat. We're making this thing better and better all of them, better and better every year on donations, sponsorships, and
And
sheer
concessions.
hard work. We're doing stuff people said could never be done. Even my sister, who used to do this back in the early 2000s, okay? She did something very similar, okay? And then, people try to go back to the old way of doing it. And that's the thing. If you have a good product at a decent price, people are gonna come. And that's the thing, if you let the kids come in for free, that's a plus. That's more money in parents' pockets to spend on other things.
No, that's something I like to keep striving for, is to do free kids events,
You know,
it's,
which,
Well,
that's why I'm here. I
Which
mean,
That's
kind
number
of-
one thing, is for all the kids' stuff's free.
And I really appreciated that she gave the hot dogs away.
Yep.
I saw like tons of kids. That was really amazing, so
You wanna see how many hot dogs are in that freezer down?
really.
Amy made the suggestion to me, though, that no matter who runs the concession stand next year, if we're giving away the hot dogs, that we actually give them a coupon when they check in at registration, because she said she knows people were going up and getting free hot dogs from Billy Ann, that. So she suggested we do that to help make it fair, make it right. The other thing, what you just said there, Dan, I was wondering about us actually adopting a formal mission statement, that our mission is to provide our events free to the kids, to the families and kids.
Okay, mission statement is who we are today. So, if we're gonna answer that question, who is the Parks and Recreation Board today? Vision statement would be, who do we wanna be 10, 15 years down the road? So, what do we see, where do you see us heading? Okay, this is who we are today, where do you see us heading? So, yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, every good organization needs a mission statement. Defines who you are.
So, what does everybody think? Would like to see us have something next meeting to
I love that.
consider?
I just I could not believe how many townships this year charged for the Easter egg
I'm
hunt.
wondering if they
It
do that for
just-
the registration alone, honestly, just for the registration, because how many no-shows do we keep getting year after year after year? And I'm wondering if this kind of nails people down as a registration thing,
Well, that's
more than it actually is the money that they collect. Because say they only have 200 kids, and for $5, that's,
Yeah.
they're not covering, what they put into that, I don't know. That was my opinion too, is why, because I think Peters Township does that, North Strabane does that. I still think Bridgeville, I don't think there's anything from Bridgeville, but they don't do a time slot either. They send them all out at once.
And they have the room for it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing we always do battle, is the parking and, obviously the room.
One of the things that, they don't have a dog in the fight. If it's free, I've seen it in academe, I've seen it anywhere. If you give somebody something for free, they don't respect it as much. Not saying our people don't, but they don't respect it as much as if they paid for it. And if they have a dog in a fight, they're gonna follow through with it. It's easy to say, oh, we're not gonna go today. We didn't pay for anything, so it's no
Right,
skin
there's
off.
no loss, right?
Right. So, but this is out of the box thinking too. No one else does what we do.
So that's also bringing up another thing for registration, is this fishing derby, okay? I don't want people not showing up, because we are gonna hit our max. We're 60,
think
or
you're at
55, 58, 60 already in a day. I gotta shut it off, the park is not big enough, to contain that many kids fishing. But I also want to stress to people, like, if you are not coming, please let us know ahead of time. I think we do need to do a wait list again.
Okay,
Like, if somebody does cancel, we just keep bumping kids.
you're at 54.
Yeah, 54, so.
And what's the maximum?
As busy as these last 2 days have been, I haven't even posted it yet. So that's all Facebook stuff.
I know people have been waiting for it too. Of course, I'll bring it up when we do the fishing. Go ahead, if we're.
Sorry, Dan. Okay, so you want to go on with the fishing derby then, Dan?
Yeah, okay. So basically, another point I wanted to bring up too is how closely are we checking the addresses? Because this is supposed to be Cecil Township only, and I do know parts of Cecil are McDonald, correct? Because there is McDonald, and then I see a couple Bridgeville
Yeah,
addresses.
Yeah, anybody up off of Morgan Road?
Okay,
That's Cecil, but they call themselves Bridgeville. We have 5 zip codes in Cecil Township.
okay.
I'm McDonald.
You got Southview, you've got, you got Cecil, you've got Muse, you've got Lawrence. And then you have all the, right along the edge there. So, yeah, there's a lot of people included in 26 plus or minus square mile.
Now, what I can do is look up the address on the registration in the tax records, and it'll tell me whether it's actually Cecil Township or not.
Yeah, you can. That's right.
I mean, I don't think we got to get too carried away, but also, I do want to make sure, stress like you did, that this is for Cecil Township residents, for now. I mean, obviously, if somebody's already signed up too, and we find out, hey, they're not from Cecil, Like, can we put them on the wait list and see how many kids we end up, and then we can easily add them on, so. Yeah, we're stocking fish. Jack, I just confirmed with them today, Friday in the early afternoon. Did you happen to see John when they stocked on Tuesday by any chance?
No,
Did
I
he
missed
stop
it.
in? Okay, no biggie. He said he was gonna get us some signs. We'll have to put plenty of signs up, that we're gonna, this is blocked off until after the Derby.
So they're gonna provide those signs, that's nice.
He has some signs. He said he can drop off, and I told him to make sure he stops and talks to you.
Yeah.
Arrival time, it's up to you guys. This is pretty minimal. I think the biggest thing is, we're gonna give away hot dogs and stuff there as well. Potato chips or something we may need. What time? It's supposed to start at 10, right? Most of the time, I'll be there earlier, but I mean, if you guys get there around, let's say 9, that should be, there's a very minimal setup for you guys.
Do you want us to give away the bags? Do you
Yes.
want to hold them for Community Day?
Well, it's up to you guys, what you guys want to do with the bags. I mean, it's all a group effort here, but, if you want to give, them away too, I have no problem with that.
Probably have enough for that day in Touch a Truck, actually.
I think we
get
did
that
last
many?
year. I think we had some left over for Touch Truck. We actually, some people that didn't show up to the Easter egg or whatever, we ended up, just make sure that they didn't get one at Easter, It's-
That's something to remember next year is don't buy any Easter-themed things for the Easter registration bag so that we can use them later, because the Easter coloring books are in there, so they're gonna get them, but that's fine.
The Easter coloring books.
Prize update, I have to get that list out to you, and I will put an age group attached to it as well. Jack, I have a couple of very minor things too. I'll get you the receipt eventually. No stress. But I will get a prize update. I'll get a prize update and a prize grouping for the age groups. Concession menu, it's gonna be up to you guys.
Do you want,
Billy in for concession, or do you want us to run it?
I don't know how much we usually even make, because we give away the hot dogs to the kids. And if you guys want to make burgers on top of that,
She gave us boxes of potato
Chips and
chips.
stuff.
I'd say we give away, again, chips and hot dogs to the kids, let the adults buy what they want to buy, and then we can go from there.
In this case, since we do, once again, give away, and it's not a huge turnout, do you think we should just go ahead and do it? And
Yeah, I'd recommend that.
Let me give Billy Ann first shot at it.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't think we have an issue with that. Maybe we sell drinks or something. It's up to you guys.
Because I think she'd be more interested in Community Day, Touch a Truck, Car Cruise possibly. I'm hesitant about Fall Fest.
yeah. And Community Day, there's more places that we can be out helping with things outside of the concession stand.
We need help at Community Day, big time, especially for volunteers. That's their off season. They're out of school then. Did we talk about if we can get their email, or how does that work?
Yeah, she has them.
So I have the emails. I talked to a couple of them, and they said they would like to hear from volunteer activities. So I was gonna ask about the fishing derby. If you thought we needed people, let me know so I can reach out and try and get them. But I think we should have like a listserv maybe of like our volunteers, like people who sign up for volunteers, and we can just always email like to the listserv opportunities. That's just a thought, but
One thing I can do on the Google Doc is actually have each of the things listed and have them multiple check the ones they're interested in volunteering for. And then you would always have the info. So that's something we could do too.
The only help I see you guys may needing would be for concession stand, if we needed, but, I mean, obviously, it's 100 people, max, so, I mean, it's up to you guys. If you guys need to help, like I said, I'm running the whole time, all the way up and down that stream, so, if you guys decide you need to help, reach out to a couple of them, let's say.
Well, Jack will reach out to Billy and then let us know.
Okay. Details to discuss, I don't think I have anything else on that. I sent you the request for check. Did you get that today, Jeff?
That'll go in Monday. Check will be
That's
out
fine.
next week.
As long as we have it just the day of.
Are you okay if I just send it, or you want to hand it to me?
Either one. Well, actually, on that, I think on the invoice it said check upon delivery.
Yeah, it does.
So, why don't we just do it? We'll hand it to them the day of then, like we've been doing. And then maybe, you know, if I get it sooner next year or whatever, you know, we can set that up where we can just mail it to them.
We'll have
Whatever's
it,
easiest.
it'll be cut next week.
Okay. And I think that's it on my end.
All right,
I have a couple, just a reminder, I have a couple of the big boxes of the Huggies for Fishing Derby too, to give away. So I'll bring those.
okay. And make sure you thank them for us, because I know they don't ever want to tell us.
I don't know.
Okay, Fall Festival, vote on approval for back roads, $600 for a 2-hour set. So we'll definitely have back roads next and One Journey, right? So we need one more band?
Yes, and I got to contact the ones, I'm sorry, Jason, I told you I'd do that last week, and I did not. I got to get, is their name to be determined? It's just TBD.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, is he telling me something I don't
Oh,
know?
that's
So I want to call him, but when I seen your text message, I'm like, is that the actual band name or what? Like, so I will call them, and then I'll get that set up. We have one more time slot we can fill with a band. That'd be Sunday morning-ish, depending if we do find. We have no, I guess, the SMPJ, we have no idea if the Button Box, if they're even still doing anything.
I thought everybody's kind of walking away from that.
It's fine, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
before I schedule somebody else in, that's all.
I'm getting a lot of pressure from Arlene and her son, John.
I figure that at the most we give them an hour. I got an hour time slot if we need it. If we don't want to, that's fine.
Now, are we talking to Tino, or are we talking, I mean,
Not the one we emailed. The Tano's the one that emailed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted $750 for
I didn't even see his response. You said
an
you
hour and a
saw it.
half. Yeah, you didn't see it?
No,
I think
well,
I'm pretty sure your name was on
Our
it too.
view changed on that, on our emails. Did you notice that?
What?
You don't see the preview anymore of what they're talking
You
about.
gotta give me freaking credentials
I
again.
don't know how it got changed.
Never
What was the name of that? What was the name of? Oh, that's right. It's a Tano.
Oh, I'm in it every day.
Except for Arlene.
honestly, there's, I think most people
like
know
polka.
Cecil.
On a polka band.
But
Those are the loudest ones though, Jack.
Arlene Curry, John Taylor, and Larry LaRue. Those are the only three. Once a week. We need a polka band. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
And, you know, I just think I'd rather give the kids their demonstration times in the morning, because that brings in more parents.
I never set anything up on a Sunday for a kids event. I kind of hammered Saturday.
Yeah.
We can, try to move something, or maybe, what was that place called?
The South Hills.
Yeah, the South Hills Academy
What, a
thing.
dance academy or something?
No, but they had their own, it wasn't a dance academy, it was, they had their own instrument, so they were actual they played. We've got
We
to try to
actually
get a
did one
hold
of
of them.
South Fayette's events last year. South Hills Arts Academy or something?
Yeah, I'll have to try to find them
I
again.
think that's a dance thing.
It
South
wasn't.
Hills.
No, they have singers, like they sing, some of the kids sing, their other one has a piano. I think one kid had an accordion, they had a whole bunch, it was a huge skit, all different types of stuff.
And she only canceled on us because she got sick.
She got sick, yes, and I'm not sure if she's still doing it, I have no idea, I haven't reached back
She did the South
out.
Fayette thing after ours. It was like a month after ours,
Okay.
so. I think she's still out there.
All right, I'll try to reach out to them, see if they can take an early Sunday slot maybe, I can give them almost an hour. Like I said, we have an hour, that very early 10 to 11, where there's not a whole lot of people there yet.
Church.
Yeah, church is still in, so we do have that 10 to 11. I didn't want to put a band in right then, because I remember we put 90s band in, and nobody showed up until the last half hour of their set, So,
12:30, 1 o'clock.
yeah, that Sunday was so iffy then too, so I don't think anybody showed up until after 11 o'clock.
Do you want me to stop at Lori Allen, or do you want to call her?
No, you have a good relationship with her. Why don't you keep on that good relationship with her then?
My daughter dances at L'Oreal.
Perfect.
Really?
Here's the, well, surprise, surprise.
Right next to it.
She was over there how long?
always love seeing.
Yeah. Okay, so motion to approve back roads for $600 for a 2-hour set.
This will be, as I was discussing with Wendy, it was going to be Saturday afternoon, right? Okay. Yeah, this will be the Saturday afternoon set, same as what they did last year. They seem to do very well. The price is right, so I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. And then you'll get us the next
I already emailed it.
To,
Should
yeah.
have it.
Okay. Do we want to add it
I
to
just,
the?
I just need to update, I mean, we already,
We already voted.
I thought we approved it
yeah,
before.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
that's
it's approved
approved.
months ago.
Yeah,
Okay,
But-
it's just a time.
the time slot.
I got, in the contract, he had a different time, which I will tell him he'll come, but, I mean, if we need the correct time on there,
Yeah,
because we're
We
saying
should
now
have.
4:30.
yeah, we should have the correct time on it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So anything else on the Fall Festival for now?
Do we want to do the same mascots? Do you want me to reach out to the
Yes,
same?
and I also
Yes.
sent you another one. I sent you an email with another mascot in it. I forget who it was.
Yeah, I think it was the zoo. We don't want to pay
Yeah,
for any
it was the
mascots,
zoo.
correct? We just want free mascots, or we don't want to pay for any? Okay.
Yeah.
So that leaves out like Iceberg and the Parrot, who has like strict guidelines, but everybody else was free, so,
Yeah, anybody that's free, we'll
Okay.
we'll happily take.
okay.
Okay, anything else on the Fall Festival? Okay. Touch a Truck, Jason? Well, let me give you the update on Maddox first. Jack, I know you were concerned about Mark Secrety. We should reach out to him, and, you know, this is like 8 months before Toys for Tots. So I don't think it's gonna affect him, but as a courtesy, I would like to reach out to him and let him know that, you know.
We, he does Toys for Tots the first Saturday of December.
Or do you want to reach out to him?
I can,
Okay.
I'll call him.
Okay. So Trucks for Maddox, they are meeting next week to set their schedule. And they actually bring a truck themselves and let the kids climb on it. And you can pass that down. Here's a sample of their, so they actually attend the event. And,
So wait, they bring a backhoe, or they bring?
yeah, they bring a construction truck of some kind. So if they're good with our date, do we want to move forward with having them as part of Touch a Truck?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you want to go ahead and anything else then, Jason?
Well, I know I've sent a few already in that already sent the forms back. I know Jack got them. Sergeant, what the heck is his name? One that Wendy, you had me reach
Oh,
out
from the
to.
military?
Uh,
Was he special ops too?
They're all Air Force, these people. So it's Sergeant Brandon, Reynolds. That's the one that's actually out of Canterbury, not the one over that you saw. Because the other outfit was going, they move around the country, so they're being gone for a month or so during Touch a Truck, so Sergeant Reynolds said he can do it. He's gonna bring, it's some big truck, it's painted like, I forget what he told me, some kind of military vehicle, it's painted like a 1940s bomber, has like the shark teeth and everything on it. So they're gonna bring that. He acknowledged that he got the form. He said, I'm gonna fill it out and send it back, so I'm waiting on him. Now, did we send the flyers, the letters out for it yet?
They went
Okay.
out, right, Jack?
Was that last week they went out?
No, it was week before, wasn't it?
Last week.
Was it last week?
Okay. But that's, I mean, that's all I got right now,
Until they
but,
start coming back.
Yeah, I would say my biggest recommendation for that is to have a detailed list of exactly what they're bringing, because I think a lot of they try to bring some stuff in at the very end, and then it gets crowded quick.
Especially that
So,
one tow truck company.
yeah.
what's that, the tow
And
truck
their trucks
company?
were amazing.
Oh, that McGann and Chester. Yeah, they brought like 5 of them or something. I'm like, where am I going to put these?
I know,
Like,
I wasn't expecting, they didn't, I mean,
great showing
it
of
came in
trucks. Don't
with,
get me
who
wrong.
was that, Jack?
That was McGann and Chester, wasn't it?
Wasn't that green?
No, they were
McGann and
orange. It was
Chester.
McGann and Chester. I'm almost positive it was McGann.
No,
and
you're
Chester.
right, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they brought a whole entourage. They
There's
brought
like 5 or
6 of
6
them.
big tow trucks. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these trucks?
I remember that, yeah.
They were painted beautifully.
Oh, they were gorgeous trucks, but I'm like, they literally had 6 or 7 coming down the road. I'm like, okay.
Maybe put a max, hey, maybe only 4 vehicles or 3 vehicles or whatever, I don't know. That's, like I said, they were great trucks, they were great additions, but yeah, I mean, that upper lot went from, okay, I got some room to, okay, we have no room, like, with one showing of McGann and Chester, which they were great, don't get me wrong. And they put them exactly where I said. I said, hey, can you fit in there? Yeah, no problem, we got it. And they did. They put them exactly where they needed to be. They did great, so.
I don't think we've ever filled that upper lot that way.
It
We've
was
never.
full. It was full.
What about the helicopter?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That is, if we,
Yeah, that was good.
yeah, that's awesome.
They're all,
Especially when they landed and took off, the kids loved that, yeah.
yeah, they're always happy to help out, so I'll
Brian already asked me if the helicopter was coming.
yeah, I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
But Wendy, I will say this, if I can't get a hold of someone, I might need you to maybe reach out to someone, because I'm just, sometimes during the day, I can't get to the phone, so.
It's so nice being retired.
Yeah, well, I will never know that having a 5-year-old, so I'll be dead by that time.
Honestly, you younger people, I would be worried about that too if I was your age.
Do you want me to reach out to Coast Guard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
since you
get a
have a
hold of-
connection with him.
I'll get a hold of Tim.
We did send him a
Yeah.
letter, but you have your connection, so.
All right, I'll wait till the letter gets there and then
Yeah.
I'll give
And
it.
it came late last year, they had a,
They
I'm
had
sorry,
another,
they left early.
yes.
They had another
They had another
engagement or
prior
something.
engagement,
Yeah,
yep.
I didn't even see him.
I think it was a practice training or something they had to go to, or something.
I thought he said they had another event, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And the one I talked to, they send the privates down. He's a little bit higher in rank, so. But I'll definitely get a hold of him.
Didn't we talk too about the fire trucks? We have to know what they're all bringing because they overstocked us last year.
I'm gonna leave that up to Mac and just tell him, look, we can only have so many from each, you know, three from 3 different fire departments, that's 9 fire trucks, you know, so if we knock it down to 2, you know, that'll be 6, we're not, you know, and I know they like to be in the same place every year, they're tucked back in the corner over here, you know, but if we can just have 2, I think ladder truck is 1, pumper truck, you know, main truck, we don't need everything, you know.
All right, now also, you were gonna call Life Flight. Do we get a hold of Allegheny Health Network for the ambulances, or
Yes,
is
she
Southbridge
got
an
one.
option since they're in Cecil?
Yeah, Southbridge
or-
is an option. Yeah, she was the one that was very upset last year because we put her next to waste management. I'm sorry.
Why?
That's where you fit.
Their truck was as clean as could be.
That was the most popular truck.
She was-
There to be a.
Yeah, she was very disgruntled. She did not like being next to the porta potty, whatever it was.
Oh, that was another
Oh,
thing I forgot
yes.
to put on the Easter thing. I'm so sorry. I don't want to backtrack, but like I had several people say that the porta johns for Easter, we need more because
It was
they were just
disgusting.
like,
You know when I thought about that? Friday night. And I thought, I wonder if Jack ordered any more porta.
Yeah, we did. How many were there?
I think one on each side.
One.
Yeah, there was only one Jack down there, because I actually had to,
Before,
I had to go.
before
use
the
it.
event even started, it was completely trashed. Before it even started, because I went in there and changed.
Yeah, it
I'm
wasn't
like,
clean or nothing.
I'll talk to Teresa because, yeah, I did order 2. 2 down here, 2 up there.
Yeah, I know if there's only one up here. I don't know about down here.
The good news is water will be on in the bathrooms on April 14th.
Good.
So we won't have to worry about that. But yeah, that was supposed to, you know, I mean, we had an issue last fall festival, you know, and I mean, these guys, you can't get them on the weekends, you can't get them after a certain time. So, you know, I put in for them early enough, and I'm going to find out why they weren't
Did we
delivered.
get charged for 4?
Well, I'm going to find out, yeah. See, that's an ongoing thing, because we pay for them in 2 of the 3 parks. YBA, Canada Macmillan Youth Baseball pays for other ones, you know, and I'll see how many we had for March and April. They're not really reliable, unfortunately.
Did Lawrence get fixed?
Is there somebody else we
Yeah,
can use?
it was right, somebody righted that, because I talked to Bill Monday. He said, oh, yeah, we took care of that. Okay. But yeah, I don't know what spilled out of it. I don't know anything, but they said they put it back up on Monday.
Wouldn't surprise me if Stush wouldn't have gone over and done it. Just
What Wendy's referring to is one of the porta johns fell over with the wind. The problem is when it falls over, all that green, blue, whatever color it is, goes all over the place. So technically, they have to come in, take that one out, put another one in, and you know, go clean that one. So according to Bill, it was taken care of.
Yeah, somebody was nice enough to message me. Okay, so Touch a Truck, that's pretty much the update for that. Movie night, we haven't discussed any of the movies yet, so anybody has any ideas on movies? We could even wait a little closer or something more current. Community Day. Does anybody have the price on the?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
It's $5.50, and that'll be from 10:30 to 3:30, and I think there's a $100 security deposit
Okay.
For what?
for the mini golf.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do you have an invoice yet, or?
We have a rental agreement I can forward to you.
Yeah, I I originally sent that to Steph and Wendy to see, you know, if everything looked okay. I thought I tagged you in that too. I might not have. I apologize. And then I asked Steph to add that last minute. So it's basically what we talked about before, what I've showed you guys before, was the mobile mini golf where they just have 9 holes. I think that was something, you know, I would like to see for Community Day, to add another whole nother aspect to Community Day.
Any idea where we're gonna put it?
My original thought was in one of the basketball or hockey courts. If we just move the nets from the hockey court, I think that would, you know, be ideal. That way that brings people over to this side to participate in things.
Yeah.
Also, what are we thinking about putting them kids, all the kids for the craft vendors?
think
That craft.
Like in the open field by the baseball.
By the baseball field?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't push them that far back, I don't think. I just put them in the outfield by the stage and stuff like, well, not because we do the cornhole right there, but I definitely think, you know, having the kids craft vendors in that area, you know, and then do the mobile mini golf and then keep the water stuff all separate, I think that'll move people through both sides.
And there's like 50 tables.
Yeah, I was very impressed with those kids, I'll tell you.
And she told me, like, cause like at the mall, all their tables were like pushed together, but she said when they do outside events, they like bring little tents and stuff to set up, so. Should look like an actual vendor fair.
Okay, so a motion to have Steel City Mobile Golf for Community Day?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And did we actually vote on having the craft things, or was it between the two? Like, do we need to,
I think we already did that.
okay.
Well, cause we don't pay them, so I don't think we had to vote.
But we're all in agreement that we're gonna have them, right,
On Community Day.
Yeah,
on Community Day?
yeah, I think that'd be the best option.
Yeah, I think we
There,
voted on that.
Stephanie, you wanna explain to Heather a little bit about them?
Oh, sure. So it's called the Children's Entrepreneur Market, and what they do is that they have like the kids run their own businesses for the day. So like they had an event at the mall, but they make the products, they set the prices, they bring like all of their things like set up and tear down, and they sell their goods to everybody throughout the fair. So like when I was there, they had like lots of soaps, kids made birdhouses, jewelry, art, painting. And so they come all together. There's about 50 of them, like 50 different kids that set up their booths, and people can walk around and buy things. So we're gonna have them for Community Day this year because we didn't have any vendors at Community Day last year. So we think it'll be a good pool to bring people in. They're not from Cecil
Right.
only.
Did have
They're
somebody from
yeah.
Cecil contact me, though, whose child does do it, and she said, oh, my child's so excited, she's gonna start making stuff now. So,
I think they're from Castle Shannon and a few other places. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like an organization. She said that they have, they do this in California, and she named another state too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is the first year they're doing it in Pennsylvania.
Do you think that they will take, that kids could sign up from Cecil for this?
I could ask her how you get involved in the program, because I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have to pay something to be in that program.
You didn't tell me.
and I can message the person from Cecil that contacted me and ask her, like, is your daughter actually in the group already, or are you gonna get her in the group for, find out what she knows?
I assume they can pick and choose which ones they want to do.
Okay, is there anything else we need to talk about for Community Day right now? Oh, should I, tell DJ Matt we're gonna use him for Community Day, but not for Fall Festival this year?
Yeah, can you get us a price and stuff?
Yep.
What is that, like 3 days?
You looked over here.
I just wanna make sure
I'm like-
nobody got to say
I'm like, did I
anything.
miss something?
I didn't want to interrupt anybody. What is that, 3 hours? What
Yeah,
is that, 3 hours?
Yeah, had the
actually, the hours.
11 to 4, 10 to 4, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's longer than that.
It's
3,
longer, yeah.
4, we're almost at 5 hours.
But I don't think he played the whole time. Did he play yeah, he did play the whole time, didn't he?
If it wasn't an act or something, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do an act at all on Community Day.
Oh, well,
I think he played the whole time.
Now, here's a question I had, which on the sheet that I had from Jack, it said 9 AM to 3 PM. Is that what we did last year? Does anybody
I
remember?
don't think it was
seems
that early.
So I might have to adjust that.
Whatever time it was supposed to end, it ended abruptly.
When that storm went
When the storm went through the
Mother
park.
Nature said, okay, we're done with this.
I'll go back and look at last year's advertising and see what hours we put on it, and
Hang
then,
on, I can tell you in a
Might have to-
second.
oh, you got it here.
I do somewhere.
Thought I took it from last year.
I didn't think it was that early. And do you want me to see if Drew and Kyle take care of
I'm sorry, what?
Drew and Kyle will take care of the,
Yes,
fair and foul?
yes, because I had learned so much about cornhole, and I learned that people take it very seriously about your rules. So,
I thought I'd emailed him to see if they were on vacation or anything, but I can't find it.
And if, excuse me, if we're thinking about prizes, let's start thinking about what we're going to be, money is difficult. Technically, we're not allowed to give township money, or in this case, Parks and Rec money, as prizes. Last year, we didn't either. So what I'm thinking is, let's be creative about these, and, we can make it happen.
what if we got a business to pay like cash and sponsor like as a prize?
How many more?
I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking like,
Their money.
yeah, it would be like they could put their name on the whole event. Like, if somebody wanted to donate the prize for the cornhole event, like it would just go like straight.
So we would
From
we would
them.
give them like $500, and then they would provide the gifts,
Or like, I don't know, who usually gives money? Like, if Range was like, oh, we'll like, I know they gave their money already, so this is just an example, but if Range is like, oh, I'd be interested in sponsoring the prize for the cornhole event, like, they, like, instead of giving us money,
That's a
like,
great
it would
idea.
just go straight as the prize?
that's a great idea, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On a side note, I don't want to throw things, I got to say them as I remember. I talked to Always Safe for traffic control at Touch a Truck. They did it 2 years ago and made a world of difference. And Billy asked me the other night, is there anything else they can do? Because they gave us that generous $1,000 donation. And I said, yeah, we could really use some traffic control. He said, just tell me how much you need, so.
what, for Touch a Truck? Okay. Who, that was Bill? Little Billy? Okay.
Well, Bill and JC.
JC, okay.
How many prizes did we have?
I can-
for cornhole?
Did we send them a letter too to be there, participate?
$100, like,
I'm
and gift
sure we
cards
do.
for
They
both
come-
of
they
them.
came
So
last year.
like the chili
Wendy?
got
Who?
$100.
Always Safe got a
Oh,
letter?
yeah.
Okay.
Got 100. That's always an option.
If you want me to,
They did, yeah.
if you want me to, I can call Bill. If you want me to,
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
I'll step, he mentioned it to me, and I said, yeah, we could really use
that's fine,
some.
I'll get
Okay.
it.
Let's see if I can find it.
Do we want to do the chili cook-off again? Because
Used to own one.
Arden, would you be willing to, there was somebody last year for judge that you had in mind, but it was too late to ask him. Do you remember who that was?
Who was, you remember?
Wasn't it one?
I can't remember. You said he runs some sort of Facebook, like, food.
I thought we did have him, the guy that does the sauce, wasn't he?
We had
the
someone from
Washington PA
Maestro.
food guy.
He was?
The guy- was he here?
Came in. Maestro's
Yeah, Maestro's
was here.
Yeah, they're already signed up, that one.
Oh, okay. I thought that you had another idea for a judge. but it
Last year
just
was
too late.
11 to 3 for Community Day.
Yeah, because that's what I set up, that contract was for 10:30 to 3:30, so they can be here to set up, and then they'll tear down a half hour after.
So I need to change that advertising to 11 to 3 for that.
I think 9 to 3 was concession stand setup and preparation.
I'll bet that's what.
Yeah, that's where I picked it up.
Yeah.
One point about chili, in the dead of summer, I think it's a good idea. It was our township manager's idea. We could do something else, I mean, chili in the middle of summer, I mean,
Yeah.
what else could we do,
Maybe we change it, instead of doing chili, we do a pie one or something this year,
Oh, pie would be cool.
I think, maybe we do something different every year. I think it might be cool.
Yeah.
I
a
like
pie
that.
eating contest or something.
No.
Hot dog eating contest.
No.
Have a Kobayashi over there. Eating hot dogs.
Well, maybe we can be creative, never around and see what other people do in the summer.
I'm fine not doing it either way. That was a hard one to do.
It
Because
was.
it was like a pain to get like people
Yeah.
to send me their recipes and like to write a description and,
It
What was
was a
that?
pain. It was a pain.
I didn't hear what we.
like, if we don't do the chili cook-off, I'm fine with that, because it was hard. It was hard to like get people to send me their information
Yeah.
and confirm that they were coming and,
I think the biggest attraction was the cornhole tournament. You know, that's why a lot of people showed up.
People love cornhole.
Unbelievable.
You never, they love it.
Yeah, I just, and I owe you boards.
Speaking of that, do we need to get our own boards this year then?
I still got my set.
yeah, that's a good idea, because I brought 2 of my own sets last year.
Yeah, Penn State ones.
We have some donated ones
Yeah.
in the back
Penn
room.
State.
I know.
There's cornhole boards back there
I have enough
from Tuesday morning.
time. I'm gonna make some. I don't know how they're gonna turn out, so don't count on me. But hopefully I'll get it right. You never know. It's a hit or miss.
Started my sign flats yet?
I mean, I'll have my 2 sets
cow.
again, but like they have to be like the actual size or the people will not be happy.
Yeah.
Because I think that one donated set we have is like a small one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's
can
small.
already see them now
Yep.
telling me, nope, I am overruling you, so.
There's instructions online. You
There
know
is,
where
and-
the hole is. You know.
You know what, Arden, we should have gotten those
What, to
ones you
build
guys
them?
had.
Yeah.
Oh, there's whole templates.
And,
Yeah.
and the
Cut it out and
kingdom,
stick it on there, yeah.
mad about it
Yeah.
too.
We could have gotten them at Tuesday morning.
Oh, really? Half
Anyway.
price or-
Yeah.
It was 90% off.
Never
You had
thought
them- you had them at
90%
Tuesday
off.
mornings.
Never thought about it.
No, it was, yeah.
Slacker.
Okay.
He
car-
did get us. He did get us shelves. You see the shelves?
A cart.
Yeah, he did.
And
And
the
a
cart,
cart.
and the truck,
That's true. That's true.
wooden truck.
Tell you, those shelves are gonna be nice.
still
When we
carts
get
every day
that
in
room
Washington,
totally
drive, walk
organized, it's gonna
around
be
with
nice.
them,
Okay, nothing else on Community Day for right now, though. Okay, car cruise. Of course, this is not our event. We just do the concession stand.
Yep.
So,
What day, there's no date there, so when is it?
It'd be the 20th. It's a Sunday, but I think it's the 20th or 21st. I think it's the 20th.
What's the rain day?
The
There
following
is
week.
no rain date.
yeah, remember last year how bad it was? And then it ended up.
It ended up being beautiful.
Yep.
Got jinxed
But
on
you
that
know
one.
it's for-
That's a Sun, it's the 20th, Jack.
Yeah, it's 20th. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much takes care of itself. I mean, if this is something that you want Billy Ann to handle, you know, I can just turn her loose and, you know, we can kind of enjoy the day, whatever, whatever you want to do.
I honestly, I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I don't mind working a concession stand on car cruise day.
Yeah,
It's pretty
a-
easy,
yeah,
and
it's light
it's
duty.
Yeah. And they're really nice, but yeah. Wow.
even with maybe a small handful of volunteers, like that can make it even easier. You know, maybe we max out at 5 or 6 volunteers.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with doing it on car cruise day.
One of the things I want to mention to you is apparently soda cans and bottles have a shelf life now. Bottles have, what do we say, 2-month shelf life? Cans have maybe 3 or 4 months shelf life. In order to
Except for
keep the,
diet has a shorter shelf life.
okay, to keep to stay in good standing with Coke over in Houston, I have to buy 15 cases a year. That allows them to come in and fix our coolers whenever that fixing is free. You know, when that motor went last year, he came in, fixed it within 40 minutes, and he was gone. So I've held off ordering any pop right now till we see what we're going to do with Billy Ann, et cetera. But I got to be thinking about buying 15 cases here pretty soon. So if nothing else, we'll put them in there. Basic stuff. Coke, Diet Coke, you know, we're 50% Coke, 50% Pepsi in Cecil. So I can buy a little bit of both and hope that it goes. Orange is popular, but you know, we're kind of stuck in a routine, you know, and so it's not gonna be overkill.
I would just buy the 15, just at least, you know what I mean?
Or touch a truck, yeah.
So they at least, like you said, they'll come out and replace your whole cooler if they have to.
Right.
So, I mean, it's worth it just for that.
What they wanted to do was replace the ones we have now with the ones coming out of Mexico. And apparently they are really, really bad. I mean, they're changing those out almost once a year for some of these people. I said, look, let's keep this going as long as we can. My sister is the one that got those in there back in 2004. So, and they're going strong. And, you know, it's just a matter of, we got to vacuum out the back every now and then.
Well, I mean, you figure if you get, 5 regular, 5 dye, 5 Sprite or whatever, because, Sprite's a big thing too,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Sprite did not go well last year,
That's true, it didn't.
you know?
I think root beer did better
Dr.
than
Pepper,
Sprite.
I mean, people like Dr. Pepper
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, but Mountain
Yeah.
Dew's a Pepsi product.
or Powerade, yeah.
They only have Powerade, they don't have Gatorade.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Coke is power.
whole different
People didn't
bottler.
seem to mind, though. They bought the Powerade.
Coke is power.
Powerade actually, I think, tastes better than
Yeah.
Gatorade, but.
So I will plan, I mean, I can get 20 cases, that's fine. It's just, I want to hit it so that we go into that time where we're going to be selling out. I'm fine with buying a couple more cases later, but at least I met that contractual obligation to Coke over in Houston.
What's the shelf life, do you remember?
2 months on bottles, 3 to 4 months on cans.
June,
And-
July, August.
I think it lasts a little longer.
I agree. And I told the guy.
Oh,
when he
but
was-
trust me, it does. I worked there when I was
I think she's,
young, and they would give away, I mean, they would give employees cases that were there for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we.
What goes worse faster is like 2 liters in these because sun hits them. The sun's bad on, it breaks it down. But
So the cans really can last forever, right? Or
No,
not
it,
forever?
no, it won't last forever. It will go flat, and spoiled pop does taste terrible, but it takes months.
Now, this right here says diet, 3 months, regular soda, 9 months.
Yeah, so if we're good for, if we get them for Touch a Truck, I mean, that'll hold us over. I mean, even if we have some left over at Fall Festival, we're right there, so.
who brought
Well,
that
are we
up?
worried about shelf life just from what
Shelf
Coke is, or
Well-
if it tastes bad,
No, I mean,
sell
like-
it?
Well, really, I mean, all I know is what our salesperson, says, and granted, they want to sell, that's their job. But I want to make sure that, we go through this, We had cases left over last year because I waited too long. I didn't find out about the contract until late in the, beginning of
Till
summer.
Until it broke, and you had to call them to fix it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what they told me. I got to buy 15 cases a year from them.
Okay. Fall Festival, we already talked about that. Trail of Treats and Light Up Night, we don't need to talk about yet. Little free libraries. So I did get the information from Blueprints,
Been on 2 years, been on.
and you can pass this around. They actually do monitor the whole thing. They supply the books, they paint it, but it is a yearly fee. And like, for example, 3 little free libraries for 1 full year, fully supplied with books, is $2,500. So that's pretty steep.
Well, who would pay for that?
Us.
Parks and Rec?
I don't think we're gonna pay for that.
No, we're not. No. I mean, honestly, this has been on the agenda since I came here 2 years ago.
Right.
Well, it started
So
off
it's
as
either
a
we do something
Boy-
with it or we scrap it.
It started out as Boy Scouts, that's where
Scouts
it
were
started.
gonna
Tired of seeing it.
And then Ron Fleer was gonna do them for us.
Well, I
That
had
might
help, well, that was for the Girl Scouts.
So this is definitely out, so much for that.
I mean, towns wants to pay for it, good for them, but it shouldn't come out of us.
All right, any new items?
Take little library off of this.
Hey, that's fine, we got one in Georgetown, so I don't need to worry about it.
Well, last night I was
It's like a
talking
broken
to,
record. It's always the last item.
No big fights, that's good.
Just as a side note, I told you about the bathrooms being up and running April 14th. Tennis courts are open now, so that means the nets are up. Hockey nets are going to be replaced. So if anybody says there's holes in the net, yeah, we know that. They will be replaced shortly. Youth baseball and softball has started. Just so you'll know, I'll be scheduling all the fields this year. That's going to be Cecil Henderson, that's Klinger, that's Cecil here, and
Lawrence?
and Lawrence, yeah. Klinger Park is booked all year, so that's out. They're going to, Cannon McMillan Youth Girls Softball is going to be using that 6 days a week. Cannon McMillan Youth Baseball, they'll be using Cecil Park often, They have a lot more players this year. They'll be using Falcone Field as well, but as you'll see now, it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Cecil Park.
Are they gonna want back in the concession stand at all?
Yeah, we've arranged it so that only one person can get in and out. And all of our stuff is locked up in the back. The handle is being fixed. It did fall off for me. It's a set screw is what it is. It's a little tiny set screw that has come out. So once they get one, they'll fix that. Okay.
Do we get any of the money from that, from their,
From
from the concession stands if they are doing it? They're not using our food or drinks
They
or
don't, they
anything?
won't do concession stand. Here's the thing with any of the youth baseball, they charge their parents $150. And
Oh, yeah.
if they want to help out with a concession stand or a cleanup or something, they don't have to pay the $150. Nobody's helping out. So they decide they're not even going to be using our concession stand. Actually, they left all of their stuff in there and said, it's yours. So everything that's on the bottom shelves, that's all ours now.
So we can go through it now and put things,
Right? And the keys, I have sets of keys. I just have to figure out, what's what. So, let's see, CMYGSA, I told you, Lawrence Park, 6 days a week through June. DJ Johnson has a golf cart that he wants to sell. I told him that, I'd bring it up before the board. He wants $3,000 for it. I said I'd let them make the decision, so he doesn't, hold me to it. Apparently it's a good one, exactly what you were looking for, but I might be a little steep.
I think.
Gas
it's
or
taken-
electric?
Honestly, they're not cheap.
How much is a new one?
Yeah,
New one.
12, 15.
Depends, $12,000, $15,000.
For a golf cart?
Yes, they are.
We're all
Pimp
electric.
it out, they're even, you should start getting some wheels and speakers on it and stuff, it could be 20.
Holy
I
cow.
mean, they're not cheap.
Make it a low rider.
Is it gas or electric, Jack? Do you know?
It's electric.
Have you seen, is it in decent shape?
It is. He showed me a picture of it. He's immaculate, so he takes good care. It has a roof, has a windshield. He's putting a new windshield on it, then the roof is going to go on. So it's almost identical, similar to what we've been renting over the last couple of years.
My neighbor's been picking some up, and he's been rebuilding them. He may have one left over here soon for,
Okay.
I can probably get for maybe under $1,000.
Okay. Okay.
And it's a gas one, not electric.
Okay.
But the biggest thing would be where are we going to put it? Because it's not going to be feasible, where we currently have it. It would have to go probably over into Public Works, but they're not going to be out for over a year, right?
Well, let's say they received the building this week. Okay, so they're going to start putting it up. It's earlier than planned.
Okay.
So they're going to start putting it up. I would venture to say they're going to be out of there by the end of the year.
Okay.
What we could do with the cart is at the garage, we could pull it right in there, but that'd have to be the first thing out whenever we do anything.
Yeah, on the garage side, the garage
Yeah.
door side, yeah.
Yeah, there's enough room there for it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but we are pushing that. I mean, I just got those tables back from the weekend. Once we get that freezer over to where it's supposed to be, get that hose wound up and tighten it up, I'm going to take that table out of there. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it's for. If we need to put shelves in there, okay, I'll put shelves in there. But I don't think we need a table that we lose all the space underneath it.
Are those big black speakers, are those ours?
They are ours. They've been down at Public Works for a while. I told them, bring it down. I want to try to use them because we're not kicking the volume to the other end of the park like we're supposed to. Gary tried to do that at Fall Festival, and as a lot of people heard, I tried to say something. It's like, whoa, and he found out what the problem was. We talked about doing wireless speakers down there, and I told Bill, let me at least try these. Even if I put them out where they blast down that way, maybe we can,
Wireless speakers from the stage down to the playground.
yeah. But those aren't, we're going to try those since we have them. Dawn says just sell them. So,
Yeah, but I don't know how wireless would even work that far unless you have repeaters somewhere.
right, we'd have to go through that whole process.
Yeah, that's.
Gary has an idea. I just don't have a price tag yet. Somehow we've got to get the announcements. We've got to get, a lot of people are missing things that are going on in the stage. right? Because it's not reaching down there, it's not echoing down there. And if you turn it up too loud, you can't get the message out.
I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I was working that parking, and I could hear the bands playing. I knew what song he was singing. Like, I could hear it from the parking lot over down there. So maybe if there's a lot of commotion going on, you might not be able to hear it. But when it was quiet and I was in that parking lot over there directing parking 2 years ago, I could hear exactly what song was playing.
Okay. There were several complaints that nobody could hear.
Like I
I think
said,
sometimes maybe when people are talking, though, it's different
yeah, it might
than
be
the
a little bit
music.
different.
Yeah. So we thought about possibly wireless speakers down there in the trees, over on the other side by the little bench and everything.
Is that Gary's idea?
Huh?
Is that, I mean, that's
Yeah,
Gary?
yeah, Gary and I have been talking about it.
Well, he needs to get, I mean, that's not a quick thing, so.
Right. That's why we thought we'd try these wired.
Yeah.
And see how that works. But there again, how much wire do you need? How far do you put them down, I mean, what kind of amp are you gonna need to kick it out that far? It's gonna echo anyway, so people are gonna have to slow down when they're talking. But by the same token, we're getting the message out there. So we're gonna test that a couple times before Fall Fest.
Okay, is that everything on your list? Okay, I have one more thing, actually. Last year, we had the Salvation Army here in September for a raiding picnic. Can I reach out to them and ask them to do it again?
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
That's a good idea.
definitely.
We had him here for
They came to touch a truck,
the popsicles.
yeah,
Yeah, they did the birdhouse. That was the birdhouse.
yeah, yeah. So, and they got their invitation for touch a truck, so.
Okay.
All right,
A date for the rodeo. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want me to start adding that to the agenda?
Here's the thing. I'm going to let them handle it. It's just more of this is not a Parks and Rec thing. They're basically going to rent the park, and I'm going to let them do the concession stand, the whole 9 yards. We still have some of the pop that they gave us because nobody wanted it. And it's too much, it really is. So I'm going to let them handle it. I talked to them once already. They're looking at, I want to say July. When's Community Day?
22nd.
22nd. I want to say the week before. And I'm just going to let them do it. I'll be here just to, let them in and everything like that. But the supervisors aren't really, they're not for it, they're not against it. No beer. So that means there's probably going to be no beer at the Fall Festival. I don't know if that's a game changer for anybody. We do want to kind of keep this a family-oriented type thing. Granted, beer will bring in a different crowd that might stay longer and that type of thing. But the stress it's going to put on the police department and on them as a whole, anything happens that it reflects on us. So since they said no beer at the rodeo, then we're going to say no beer at the Fall Fest.
The rodeo might not want to come if they can't have.
Exactly, exactly, and that's, honestly, that's fine, that's fine,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, last year it was surprise after surprise, and, I mean, I like everybody there.
Well, my biggest issue was they pretty much lied.
Yeah, they did,
So to me, I would tell them not to come back anyways.
they did.
I come down to help them thinking it was for underprivileged,
Yeah, but didn't the handicapped kids?
handicapped
Yeah.
kids, and come down,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Nobody.
there's nobody, like,
and there again, all I know is what I was told, and I was told that repeatedly, and then only to find out, and I talked to supervisors about it, and I said, one of the coordinators was a niece of one of our supervisors, but it was egg in our face, for the most part. It embarrassed us. And that's why they were hesitant to do it this year. And they said, well, give it another try, but don't put much effort into it, from our standpoint of view. So that's why I'm not going to ask you. I mean, you can help out if you want. I'm going to let them do it all, from concession stand all the way down to, setting up the game and that type of thing. So.
Quick note, the township is aware of the white things coming off the pass-through windows.
Yes. Yeah. I told, when it first started about 3 weeks ago, I told Bill about it. I put that piece inside the door Honestly, getting this building ready up on Klinger, I know that they've been, and with the wind, the trees down and everything like that, I know they've been busy, but he is gonna have that fixed. All they're gonna do is cut another piece of that white stuff and glue it on better.
All of them are coming off.
Okay, all right, I'll remind him and just tell him, please fix it, it looks terrible.
Heather, I'm not going to put you on the spot today. But please, being new, I know is tough, but please feel free to speak up about ideas, thoughts, as we go forward, any ideas you have. Bring them
What you want
forward.
to be in charge of?
What do you want, what do you want to be in charge of?
Feel like you can, like, we'll add you to the project lead for one of
Yeah.
Let me know where you do need me to help.
Christmas.
them. Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
You have
Yeah.
a long time to get used to us, and then you can lead this brand-new Christmas event.
Yeah, our thought on Christmas, if we do something, and you saw we did put tentative, was something just called Simply Christmas, where we would just have like, Christmas carols singing, hot dogs, hot chocolate, really just an old-fashioned like get-together in the park and a
Jack.
bonfire. And
So the beer truck
So-
ain't coming, huh?
Actually, the one meeting I came to, just to
is that the night we talked about it?
plot it out, right?
I think it's such a better
So-
crowd.
I know.
Okay? So, all right, anything else?
Adjourned?
Meeting adjourned at
How much lead time do we need?
7:20, 7:45?